I'm Bryce, 21 years old. On Boxing Day last year, I had a bit of an accident riding my bicycle out in Stellenbosch. Nothing too fancy, nothing too spectacular, just fell wrong. And so I was riding on a pump track, nothing I hadn't done before 1,000 times, but I just slightly cased my front wheel, went over the bars, landed on my head, and no other injuries, no concussion, just lower back fracture. What did I feel right after the accident? Well, I couldn't feel my legs, and I kind of knew that meant broken back. Arms were still okay, so I knew it was lower down, my neck was fine. But yeah, as soon as anyone came over to me, I just said, don't move me, something's horribly wrong. So I lay there for an hour waiting for the ambulance. Then the ambulance ride to the Mediclinic, had my CT scan, and the prognosis wasn't very great. It was what I kind of knew from the beginning, but needed a professional opinion. And dislocated spine, severed spinal cord. So it's a complete injury, which means there's no signals whatsoever getting from bottom to top or top to bottom. Other injuries can be incomplete, meaning that there's still some sensation but not full movement, or a bit of movement but not full sensation. But yeah, no, mine's a proper job. So what followed my injury was a prolonged stay in hospital, 2 months at Grotesque, and that was a interesting experience. I learned how to start living again, from getting off a bed into a wheelchair, moving around in the wheelchair, lifting myself up. There wasn't any real pain. It's all nerve pain, which is kind of your body making up a sensation to send to your brain, but there's no feeling from my legs, nothing from my back. So how my situation improved was, so in the beginning I couldn't even sit upright. All the blood drained into my legs, and I fainted essentially every time I tried. So over time that got better. I lost all my strength in my time at hospital, so I had to rebuild that over time in rehab, which was a 2-month stay after hospital. And after rehab I've still been building up my strength. Rehab was a new experience. It was a different environment, not only like as a rehab, but it was a different part of my city that I'd never really been to or engaged with, so that was interesting, and the people within it. So I got a lot of perspective throughout my time there. So the people there, they come from a less fortunate background than I do, and seeing that and seeing their injuries was really put things into perspective for me. Made me feel almost grateful that I was in the situation that I was. I had the best case scenario for my situation. And how did this, we don't talk about that. And I was expected. They expected a lot from me. I think that forced me to learn a lot quicker. Tough love threw me in the deep end. Yeah, it wasn't easy. No, I've had too much pride. 3 roommates, can't be crying. Yeah, no, literally. I fell off my bicycle. These guys had been shot and stabbed, and so in hospital I was with a guy called JP Bowden, and he also had a spinal cord injury, but his was a lot higher. Broken neck. Yeah, so there are. Your spine is made up of 3 different sections: C, T, and L. C spine, T spine, and L spine. So that's cervical, thoracic, and lumbar. Cervical, if you break that, you either full quadriplegic, you have no function of arms, legs, anything apart from your neck. And yeah, and then T spine is, T is all your ribs are connected to T spine, and then L spine is below the ribs. So I was T12, T11, T12, and JP was C spine, C6 I believe. And he had very limited movement in his arms. Incomplete. So yeah, if it was complete he wouldn't have had any movement, but he was incomplete. So complete means there's no signal from top to bottom or bottom up. I can't feel my toes, can't feel my legs like some other T-spine patients, but yeah, there's nothing going through. Other people might be able to move their small toes or maybe hop their left leg a bit. I've got nothing. What's his name? Willoughby. Mark Willoughby. Mark Willoughby went to go watch him race in 2010, a World Cup event in Pietermaritzburg. And after I had my accident, I found out that he also broke his neck, or he broke his neck when he was out training one day. Fortunately, it was low neck, and he managed to regain all of his hand function and he's pretty much as able-bodied as I am. Incomplete, but he had a high break. Yeah. What am I doing? I am working for an online company that sources components. I get inquiries, I source products, I send them quotes. Very industrial work. My plans for next year. So I have a few things on my bucket list. One is get a bowhead adaptive bicycle. That is priority number 1. Got to get back out on the bike. It's for my physical health, mental health of everyone around me. But yeah, so that's what I really want to happen. And then once I have that, there are a number of things that I want to achieve.
Which are?
And what I want to achieve is hopefully a stage of the epic with my dad, who is a hyena, the sweeper that takes care of all the stragglers. And then the other event is the gravel burn in October.
My vision for the gravel burn is to create an African bike adventure travel experience second to none. Many years ago we started a race that took mountain bikers west, and the hot new category is now gravel, and the place to be riding with a gravel bike is east. I was born and raised in the Eastern Cape. I'm really proud to be bringing South African adventure gravel bikers to these areas of South Africa for them to see. For many years I've been dreaming and being creative in the bike event space, and it's a real privilege to have a second go at it. You know, luckily for me there's a new category and we're going to create a new experience. It's going to be different to anything we've done in the past, and it's a chance for riders to experience a new way of seeing the country on a bike. This last week we test rode the route, starting in Knysna, going through Graaff-Reinet and finishing off at Shamwari Game Reserve. We had riders literally from around the world that came out to help us test the route and give us their input onto the trails and on a gravel bike, it is possible to have a night stage, including fires, and to be racing as a spectacle for folk to enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, it's full of animals everywhere.
Amazing views, amazing scenery, seeing all the wild animal, unbelievable.
You know, we've got some amazing vision for what we want to achieve with the gravel burn, and it's absolutely unique. And it's not going to be able to be replicated elsewhere in the world. So we've got the resources, we've got the skills, we've done it before, and we're going to create something truly special for gravel bikers to travel to South Africa, to ride their bike across the African desert and African Karoo.
And what happened at the launch in Stellenbosch?
So we were fortunate enough to be invited to the launch of the gravel burn in Stellenbosch at the place of my injury, Blauklippen. Beautiful place, but yeah, not the greatest of memories. So Kevin Mark kindly put me in the spotlight and told everyone that I was doing the gravel burn, that he made it official. And then something else would be the Cape Town Marathon. Cape Town Marathon, went to go watch it for the first time this year and saw the wheelchair races, which was really quite inspiring and kind of pushed me in the direction of maybe doing a wheelchair marathon. So this I got at Sea Point. So the Wings for Life Foundation is a foundation kind of run by Red Bull. I'm not quite sure on who owns it. They're a big sponsor. And all the proceeds go to spinal cord research, which is something that I'm quite passionate about now. Just because, not necessarily so that I can walk again, so that other people that are maybe in worse off situations that I am will maybe have an opportunity to stand again. So it was a great event. It's a run as far as you can, walk as fast as you can, whatever you want. But it's a great event, great community, and it really brings people together and builds awareness for people in my situation. In hospital, I was watching a movie, quite a funny movie, but about a real story, called Whiskey Tango Foxtrot on Netflix. So throughout the movie, the main character comes into contact with a soldier who she interviews and becomes sort of a celebrity, and because of this he gets sent off to a different battalion just to get him out of the limelight or whatever, and because of this he ends up going out into a battlefield and gets his legs blown off. And at the end of the movie, the main character goes and basically sends her apologies, or apologizes for what she had done. But this guy says, you just gotta embrace the suck. And I thought that was quite appropriate. So I sent it to my dad. So my dad came up with the idea of embrace the suck, and essentially, okay, fine.
There we go. Okay. Cool.
So embrace the suck. Everyone can support, and we will put some proceeds towards. So I was in hospital. There were probably 100 odd people that came to visit me, which was really quite amazing. Some notable mentions was Oscar Chalupsky, who is a professional, or was a professional surf ski racer, very famous in that world. He came and gave me his book. Very inspiring, especially considering he's got his own trials that he's going through, health-wise, but he's really pushing on through that. There was also Damien Willemse, Springbok rugby player, who was actually visiting another guy, but popped in to say hi, which was great. But yeah, there have been so many people that have supported me along this journey. We had a backer buddy that really helped me out with regards to a wheelchair that I can take apart and put back together with getting in and out of the car by myself. We've got a car that's been adapted so that I can drive it. New bathroom so that I can get on and off the toilet without a problem, get into the shower, got a shower chair, which has really been amazing. Yeah, so there have been a lot of people that have supported me through this, and people who continue to really encourage me and support me through this journey. Obviously, I said I want this bowhead. I know it'll be really great for me, and will allow me to do the things that I love and really get back out into my home away from home, out in the mountains, enjoying nature. So yeah, we've got these little things, this clothing, starting up a website, and a few other things in the pipeline to kind of grow a bit of cash to afford one of these bikes. Yeah. Hopefully we will have one by March next year. That's the plan. It takes 10 to 12 weeks to order and manufacture one of these bikes. We're looking to raise the money through an interest-free loan. The objective over the next couple of years would be to make it to the 2028 LA Paralympic Games, either for marathon racing or hopefully bowhead, and yeah, will be made part of the Paralympic Games as a mountain biking equivalent, because at the moment we've got road cycling or road hand cycling, but there's no mountain bike equivalent in the Paralympics. They've had quite a few test events, but all in the US. Seattle Trail, or Seattle, that's a big one, and they've had multiple riders throughout the world that have competed in normal able-bodied events.